Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm Damon Campbell with Music'sMyLife.com here at the Montrose Room in Chicago with some very special guests. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Hey, we're the Young Rapscallions. I'm Nick, play guitar.
I'm Chris, I play drums.
I'm John, I play vocals.
I'm Taylor, I play bass.
Well, it's great to meet you guys. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for having us.
We're here on the Over the Hills tour, and I know at least a couple of you guys are pretty big on Led Zeppelin. Did their song Over the Hills and Far Away have any effect on you naming the tour?
It actually had to do with like one of the newest songs that we wrote right before we went on tour, and it was just kind of, John wrote the lyrics about our band was kind of going through just some changes,
right?
And we were excited to be traveling to new places. I didn't even make that connection. That's one of my favorite
great.
Zeppelin songs, though.
Yeah, I mean, I was going out on a limb, but I thought it might have something to do with
I
it.
feel like you said something about
I definitely didn't know it was
Okay.
these guys.
I thought about that. I think you were like, is
Probably
that a
me.
Zeppelin?
Watching
I was going through a
Lord of the
huge
Rings,
Zeppelin
yeah.
phase
And you watched all
and
those
Lord of the Rings
movies.
before we left, so
Yeah.
Right.
I'll take that.
Nick and Chris, what can you tell people out there about the Rude Mackenzies?
Wow.
What is that?
The Rude
You mean
Mackenzies.
Hunter?
No,
No.
Hunter had the Rude Mechanicals.
Oh, the Rude Mechanicals.
and we were the Rude Mackenzies, which was our White Stripes cover band.
Oh, that's what it was. That was the original band
That
before
was-
these two
yeah,
started.
yeah.
Wow, I totally forgot about that. Yeah,
Why didn't we keep that name?
because it was Chris and I. That was
It was,
Yeah,
it
exactly.
was there
Was
for
it?
a week or two while I was jamming with you guys at the beginning, actually.
So you were like
Yeah.
a guest.
I was like
teacher?
a guest Mackenzie.
I guess Mackenzie.
We can guest Mackenzie.
Yeah. It started off with just us trying to learn instruments. Like I
Right.
played bass and drums before, but never a guitar. And Chris like wanted to play drums, so
Yeah.
we were just like, this is a good way to learn. Like, let's just play together. And we
Yeah.
just like,
You know what we should do though? Like once, like Taylor's in the hospital for his heroin addiction, and John's getting a wife and kid. We should make a Rude Mackenzies album. We should
Yeah.
bring it back.
I'm not
White
addicted
Stripes
to heroin,
covers.
never have been, never will be.
And I'm not having a wife and kid within the next year, so.
And Chris,
So the Rude Mackenzies won't be happening.
right. And at the time, you were just kind of borrowing Nick's drum set, right? Until you eventually were able to
I bought one
buy
of my
your
own.
own with
Yeah, I
your
played on
Superbad
yours.
paycheck.
Nick taught me how to play. He said, hit the bass drums on the 1 and 3s and the snares on the 2 and 4s.
hi-hat on everything else.
Yeah,
On everything.
yeah. And that was my only drum lesson. And then when I got my first paycheck for Superbad, I wanted
Yeah.
to treat myself to something, so I bought a drum kit.
Nice. I bet
Yeah.
that felt pretty good.
It was fun, yeah.
Yeah. What's the significance of Hand of Doom by Black Sabbath?
That was the first drum beat that I tried to learn. That was it's just a great rock, jazzy drum beat. And I was like, I told myself, like, you learn that, then, like, you've learned drums.
Right.
So it took me, like, I don't know, 5 months or 6 months into it, but I eventually learned it.
Yeah, hell yeah. Taylor, would you consider yourself to be quite the bass player?
Actually...
Talk into the mic,
oh,
Taylor.
sorry. I love playing bass. And
Yeah.
I do it for fun, and I don't... I mean...
Where's the confidence, man?
I mean, I love.
You're supposed to be
playing
hell
bass.
yeah,
That's it.
man.
That's
all you gotta say.
That's all I gotta say. I love playing bass.
Well, I figured that you must be pretty solid because Nick, you had mentioned how you played bass before, and didn't you actually play for like 4 years in a band called The Harm?
You did your homework.
Yeah,
That's
you've done
awesome.
You are
Awesome.
impressive.
Great.
Music is your life.
.com.
.com.
I did, but like what's really cool is like Taylor, because like I said before, I played guitar, I played bass and drums for like a long time. But what's awesome is like these two are so different than me on bass and drums.
Yeah.
They come from totally different places with it. So what's awesome is like if I'll write a song like, and I have a bass drum or a guitar part in mind when I write it, these guys will come in with something like completely different. And I
really?
think that's what really makes like our band what it is. Even with like vocal melodies too, it's always like I might have an idea of what I think it's going to be.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is these guys coming in with something completely different than what I think.
Right.
I think that's what's the cool thing about being in a band where it's a collective thing
Yeah.
as opposed to just one person writing.
And that was more of like a punk band too, right? Wasn't it?
No, well, the Harm. I was in a punk band.
Oh, okay.
Called Take Hold when I was
Taking
the
even
first
further
band I
back
was
then,
ever
I
in.
guess.
As a band guy.
Yeah.
The Harm was just like alternative rock.
Yeah.
Like, beautiful.
Do you still give lessons at the Guitar Merchant?
Yes, I do. I am. That's my day job. I'm a bass, drum, and guitar teacher. But it's been cool to take some time off of that and
Right.
do this full time.
Yeah,
but I feel
totally.
very lucky to be getting paid to play music in all these ways.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
Well, for the people who want to come get lessons, what days is it? Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday?
Monday, dude, you're the
awesome,
man.
man.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays at Guitar Merchant, 7503 Topanga Canyon Boulevard, Canoga Park, California.
Plug.
Come on in.
And Chris, interestingly enough, we established that you're the drummer of the band, but when you do play guitar, you actually play upside down, right? Left-handed?
Yeah, I bought a bass. I don't really play bass, but I just play for fun.
Yeah.
And I'm a lefty, and I think I played his bass too from like a few years ago, and he has a right-handed bass, so I just play upside down, and I learned how to kind of dabble that way, so that's how I play.
It's pretty insane though how like quick Chris is at just like learning riffs. Like,
really?
Watches it and is
It's
like,
impressive.
oh yeah, cool. He actually has written like a handful of the riffs that we use in this band.
Nice.
Interestingly enough,
Only one.
Azzy, but then like a few more that we plan to write too.
Yeah.
And you guys all went to school together, right? And John and Chris, if I'm not mistaken, you guys go as far back as elementary school?
Yeah,
Elementary school, we did Sound of Music together.
He came in. I was there from all my first, second, third grade, and he came in 4th grade and was this hot stuff with his yellow button-up shirt, slick back hair, cutie, and I was like, I'm the cute 4th
Were you the
grader.
king before?
Dude, I was the king.
He was the king.
And John rolls in, and I was like, this kid's my rival immediately.
Right.
And then we just hit it off, and we were the hot shots in 4th and 5th grade.
We were
awesome.
the guys.
Yeah.
Well, and I know that you guys all eventually
You had
went
that beard
up
too,
by high school, but was John the only one that went to a different middle school, or how did that work out?
I believe so.
Yeah, I went to Magnet. My mom was like, you need to take the bus and
Right.
get really smart. Thank you, Mom.
And didn't you actually go to middle school with Joey from Midnight Red?
Dude, how you know that is amazing and beautiful. Yeah, I actually.
That's crazy.
How did you hear about that? I'm very curious.
I honestly don't really remember, but
That's awesome. Yeah, Joey, he's in an awesome like boy band, I would say they are,
Right.
and they're doing really well. And so it's just like a random
Yeah.
musical.
Did you guys ever hang out
Midnight
back then?
Red, they opened for like Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, that reunion show they did.
Right.
Is there an Asian guy in that?
Probably.
Okay, then I might know someone who's knows someone.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Did you guys ever hang out, or like not really?
We were really good friends actually. I think we became better friends after middle school, but we were definitely homies growing
Right.
up.
And boy bands like that, tend to have their own like choreography most of the time.
Yeah.
But you in your own right have some pretty wild dance moves. Where do those come from?
I think
Inspired by boy bands.
I was inspired by boy bands, and I
Draw a
think
lot of inspiration.
Right.
I listen to a lot of like Kid Cudi and a lot of rap music.
Yeah.
And like I don't know. I learned going to Lawrence.
Okay.
Lawrence Middle School.
Yeah.
I was taught by 90% Asians how to dance.
Wow.
What were the
so
other
they-
10%?
The other 10% were just like
Girls.
trickle in randoms.
That's awesome.
So I think that's where I learned it, and I don't know. It's more like of a feeling,
Right.
of a dance move,
Yeah.
Although we did name some
guy named
Mobile, Alabama. What was it called?
The Seahorse or
The
something?
Seahorse.
Do it. Can you do it?
It's all right. Here
Do you
it is.
remember?
Yeah.
Hold
I
it,
mean,
hold
this
it.
is. It's just a body roll.
Hold your drink.
Okay.
technically.
Hold the drink.
Do you mean to hold your drink?
Oh my.
But like everyone's going like this in the audience. So I had about like 15 people going like Seahorse.
That's
Seahorse.
awesome.
It's so
Yeah, yeah.
sexual.
John just had sex with everybody in the crowd.
Yeah, I did.
Seahorse.
And then if there was, it was crazy.
Now I could be mistaken, but didn't Nick actually have the best moves when you had like a dream, or I guess maybe nightmare, depending on how you looked at it, that you guys were actually like the #1 crump crew or something like that?
He's actually a twerker. I don't know if you knew
A
that.
twerker.
He
Nick
twerks.
has
A twerker.
a sick
Do you know what
twerk.
twerking is?
Do you know what twerking? Nick can show you.
I
have to
interviewed
take my
Chippy
pants
Nonstop
off. It would
a couple
not-
weeks
it-
ago.
we should
She's
just
into the
explain
twerking, but I'm not too familiar with it myself.
Yeah, it's
You don't want to be.
Twerking's just a booty clap.
It's a
Yeah.
booty clap.
clap. Nick's
And
got-
Nick prides himself on his twerk.
on my twerk abilities.
That's awesome.
Twerks hard.
He twerks hard.
Now I mentioned your guys' band to a couple of my friends, leading up to this, and they just immediately assumed that for whatever reason that you guys were like a rap group, probably because Rapscallions. Yeah.
get that.
If you guys were rappers, John, would your name still be Itchy Days? Your rap name?
I don't even know that.
Itchy
that?
Days. I think that's years ago. That's before I began. I think my name would be like if I was a DJ or a rapper. I always said I'd be Sandman.
Okay.
Because my last name's Sandman.
Yeah.
So it's like John Sandman.
Right.
Step it. Wow, wow, wow. Like it would just be like cool. The cool way to do it.
Yeah.
So I think that would be my rap name. Right?
Nice.
You agree?
I absolutely agree.
Thanks, Dad.
Well, backtracking a bit, in terms of how you guys got the name of your band, interestingly enough, that was what you used to call your dog, right, Nick?
Yes, sir. He was just a cute little dog, just up to no good. He was just a little young rapscallion, and it just
little mischievous bugger.
made sense. Yeah, he's just a little mischief maker.
Yeah.
So,
Chris, wasn't there a time when your dog actually gave you like a concussion when you were younger?
Yeah. What? Oh my god.
I'm so
This is like
impressed.
starting to get borderline creepy.
No, I tried to scale it back a bit. I promise.
It's amazing.
I love it.
Yeah, I was like, what, 7 or 8? Yeah, and she was a pup, and she was strong, and while I was walking on her grass, some sprinklers went off, and she freaked out and ran, and I tripped over bricks and smacked my head against the concrete.
That's crazy.
And like woke up in my bed 40 minutes later with like bandages and stuff, and
blacked out.
Yeah,
and
don't remember anything.
Now,
And I cried.
alcohol is, quite often associated with blackouts. Have you guys ever tried Rapscallion beer?
We have
actually.
Yeah.
We sort
I
of
haven't
tripped
had
out when we saw it in Boston for the first time.
Oh, okay.
We immediately tried to call them and get a some sort of
Free
deal where we
beer!
could just
Give us
get
free beer! Give
That's
us
all
free
it was.
beer!
Honestly, the email said, "Give us free beer. We're the Young Rapscallions."
That's awesome.
So I remember.
Yeah.
Good times. Yeah, good times.
Good times.
It didn't work out.
No, okay.
They're too small of a company, they said.
Gotcha. Now, say for example, I was in your guys' neck of the woods and wanted to stop for a bite to eat. Would I come into the Habit?
Habit's a good place.
Would you recommend the Habit?
Jerry's
Habit.
Deli,
Jerry's Deli.
Tacos Reyes,
Tacos
if you want to
Reyes,
get.
yes.
That's like
Yes.
California Chicken Cafe,
Ooh,
that's
See?
what
I miss CCC.
we're all craving.
Jersey Mike's.
Good.
Mission burritos.
Our
good.
manager likes Mission
Paoli's
Burrito.
is
We don't really.
We don't want to go on
Oh,
record
yeah,
on
yeah.
saying Mission Burrito
Habit, don't they call their burgers like char burgers or something like
Burgers,
that?
yeah.
Yeah.
or double char.
Double char. If
Or
you're
double
like
char with
being
cheese.
man.
Right,
Is it
right.
just the West Coast?
Double char, cheese, bacon, avocado.
We don't have any out here, no, yeah.
Okay. Good though. They're good.
Are they?
Very
Okay.
good, yeah.
Well, I mean, like
In
I
and
said,
out,
if I'm
obviously.
yeah.
In and out if you're like really cliche.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Not in a bad way.
No,
No,
that's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
It's a
Just
good. It's a good
It
burger.
is a good.
It's a good burger.
Yeah.
That was on our beer.
It wasn't our beer.
No.
Oh.
We only had Jack Daniels.
Oh.
I know.
Chris, isn't that where you kind of first discovered that you were quote unquote famous, or at least that people
I had
recognized
one
you?
trippy memory then. I just remember I just got my first double take of like walking by someone and they just like looked at me that way.
Yeah.
And that will
Was
forever
it
be in
kind of
habit.
strange?
It was weird, yeah. I mean, I think if like even if you're like Tom Hanks, like that kind of a double take is going to be weird.
Yeah.
You know? Like
right,
that
right,
big.
totally.
But yeah, it was weird and cool.
Yeah.
And the person was really nice.
Flattering, you know.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a creepy fan out in Albuquerque that kind of took things to a whole nother level though?
When? What was that? Now
I
you
think I heard that it happened when you were out there filming Fright Night. Said something pretty disgusting to you after you guys shook hands.
he said, oh man, he said something like, I'm going to go jerk off now or something like that. Yeah.
How do you
Yeah, I
even
was out to dinner with
respond
like,
to
David
that?
Tennant and someone else, and he was very weirded out, and I was weirded out too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who was the guy who said it? Or
No, me, David Tennant, and myself. That was, wow, yeah. Yeah, nice.
Well, yeah.
Thanks for bringing back that memory.
Right, yeah, sorry.
I blocked that out on purpose.
Yeah.
I love
No longer repressed.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, your buddy Mike is somewhat to thank for the title of you guys' debut album, right?
Yeah.
Mike Musselman.
Everything vibrates, right?
Everything vibrates.
There's kind of an interesting story behind that.
Yeah.
He was watching. God, we're such a weird band.
We are.
Now that like you make us
Yeah,
say
yeah.
like everything vibrates is cool, and then you hear the story of why we named it that, and everyone's gonna be like they're freaks. He was watching a sex show at like midnight. Dr. Ruth,
sex show.
and he was watching. And he said that everything on that show vibrated.
Yeah.
And so I said, "Everything vibrates" is a cool name.
Right.
We should play that song again, though, just for the heck of it. There's a song we called "Everything
Oh my
Vibrates."
god!
Old
I can
song.
remember. I can play.
So that's where that came from.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, speaking of which, what's the significance, Chris, of the Rolling Stones' "I Can't Get No Satisfaction"?
That was the first rock and roll song I ever fell in love with.
Didn't you have like a tape?
Yeah, I had a
cassette
tape.
with it?
Man, you are blowing my mind. You're like my mom.
in the best way.
Yeah, I had a cassette tape with "I Can't Get No Satisfaction" on it like 15 times. So I
Right.
would just listen to it.
That is psychotic behavior. I love that.
Yeah.
That's like when you
I was so young,
That's
though.
like the coolest thing.
Yeah.
It's like the Omen Child
Yeah. Sitting in his room.
That's awesome.
with the Rolling Stones playing.
And then, thanks to your dad, didn't you also kind of grow up listening to a lot of the 95.5 with
Yeah.
Mark and Brian?
Yeah, I listened to
Todd
a lot
Rundgren.
of
A
Mark
lot of
and
our
Brian.
dads.
Is that what you guys kind of all
It was
grew
definitely-
up on?
Absolutely.
Definitely.
And then Arrow 93.1, which is now Jack FM,
Kill
but it used
us.
to be Arrow Arrow and KLOS were the 2 rock and roll stations back then.
That was it.
And
Lots
that's
of good
what my
music.
parents listened to, so I owe them good taste. For the good taste of music.
Well, lastly, fellas, at the end of all my interviews, I always ask the artists if they consider music their life, and usually they do, sometimes they don't, but it's always interesting to hear kind of like the different perspectives on it. No, at least a couple of you guys have your eggs in more than one basket, if you will. But if you don't mind, I'd still like to go around and kind of have each of you, answer that in your own ways. So again, the question would be, do you consider music your life?
I think music to me is pretty much everything for the most part. I mean, even if I'm not playing it, I have to be listening to music, or doing something with music, or what? It's what? And sports. Yeah, music and sports.
He hates sports.
I don't hate sports. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. But no, music is just the greatest thing in the entire universe, I think.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah.
I think for me, music is like always where I turn to.
Okay.
And like when things are bad or things are awesome, or like I'm always finding myself like, those moments where you're like, what am I doing right now? And it's like there's music playing. So it's like that's where I'm always turning to is music. So I think it is definitely a huge part of my life.
Okay.
I think music is obviously we always listen to it, but I think it's slowly becoming part of my life because now the band is getting serious. Now we're practicing 3 or 4 times a week, and people are liking it, people are getting interested. So I think I've acted, but I think it's slowly becoming part of my life.
Yeah, for sure.
This guy, music is his life.
It's just life. Yeah, it's just awesome.
You've been doing it since like you were 2, right?
Since I was like 10, like I pulled down my dad's drum set from the garage. I mean, it just makes sense. It's always made sense to me to like write a song and to like listen to a song. It's like the one thing in the world of all sort of artistic expression that I can actually like wrap my head around and use to express myself. So it's just like release, really.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, thanks for your time, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Best wishes with everything coming your way. Is there anything else you want to say to the people out there watching?
Thanks for listening to our music.
Thanks for listening. Look for a new album later this year. Yep. Brand new songs, full-length album.
Hopefully some touring dates.
And some more touring.
Coming near you.
And keep listening to music and keep dancing to live music or being like
keep dancing, guys.
Keep like going to see live music. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, he's right.
There you have it. Once again, I'm Damon Campbell, and these are the Young Rapscallions. Thanks for watching.
Don't you cry, no.